Hi, my name is Molly Monahan Kreischman, and I am the current chair-elect for the Coalition for Women's Identities, formerly the Standing Committee for Women, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the name change. In 2015, the standing committees came together and decided to move away from the language standing committees toward coalitions for a couple of reasons. One, standing committees are typically temporary work groups, and the standing committees of ACPA had really become part of the fabric, and so it was just no longer an accurate naming. Two, the term standing committee is just not particularly inclusive language. It's ableist language, and so it was pretty important that we move away from that. Now, given that change was happening anyway, the Standing Committee for Women Directorate at the time decided to take that opportunity to assess our name and really try to figure out whether or not it was an accurate representation of who we are. And throughout that conversation, one main theme kept coming to the surface, and that is the hidden meanings and hidden implications of the word woman. When it's not otherwise specified, the word woman has historically come to mean white, straight, cisgender women, and that's not who we are in our entirety at all. So it was important for us to find new language. I should also note that that restricting of an understanding of the word serves to restrict the conversation around who we are, who we serve, and who is welcome. And so, again, that just is another layer on top of others with respect to why we needed to find that new language. So that's where Coalition for Women's Identities came into being through that conversation, because really we are cisgender women and trans people across a spectrum of gender identity, embodiment, and expression. We are femininity and femaleness and a place where womanhood can be claimed. We are women of color and white women, bi, lesbian, pansexual women, and women of all abilities. And we are interwoven and intersecting identities of all of those and more. Now, I want to note that it is risky for me to start naming identities because inevitably I'll leave somebody out, but it is also risky to not name because the not naming is a silencing and an erasure, and that is exactly what we're here to work against. Now, we hear time and time again that the Standing Committee for Women, now the Coalition for Women's Identities, has really become a professional home for folks in the field, and I can attest to that as well. This is absolutely my professional home. We want to send a clear message that the Coalition for Women's Identities is still that home. It is just the new language is just a clarification of, again, who we are, who we serve, and who is welcome. Special thanks to the Standing Committee for Women Directorate, now the Coalition for Women's Identities, and the scholars in residence for being a central part of this critical conversation. And from the Coalition for Women's Identities, the CWI for short, thank you for listening, and we look forward to future engagement. Thanks.